Hi, this is Wil Shelton on the School of Hollywood.
Hi, this is Steve Owens with School of Hollywood, and I've got Wil Shelton in the house with me today. And Wil is involved in integrated marketing in movies and music. And before we get into your background, because I don't want to get your brain thinking like a PR person, what do you feel the trends right now are in music, and why are they created in hair salons?
Music, the trends of music is, I think, your platforms like Spotify and Amazon, Pandora. I think there's just a lot of competition for the African American audience with those platforms. There's just like a war between all of them right now. They want that acquisition. In the salons and the barbershops, historically, there's always been music in the background playing. Back in the day with CDs, when I worked in the shop, I'd play an album and the client would say, "Hey, what album was that playing? I'm going to go buy it right after I leave here,"
Mm-hmm.
So I think today it's just more about streaming and in the playlist. That audience loves R&B, they love hip hop. So it's about that perfect playlist throughout the day in the shops.
But are you finding any kind of new trends that are happening in a shift in the music styles?
In the music styles, I think the trends are kind of like in the last 10 years. I think the trends are kind of like they still love hip hop. Hip hop is number one. R&B is second. R&B used to be, I think, first place, or even then hip hop just surpassed it. So it's all about really hip hop now. That's the main trend I see, that hip hop is just at the top of the food chain for music choices now. So that's really the only definitive trend that I could think of that has really changed and shifted in the last like 5 to 10 years.
Okay, so let's talk about your background. You started out as working in a salon, and then you had a brainstorm idea, and what happened?
Wow, yeah, it's a very unique story. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I own my own salon for 10 years. And I'm doing hair like everybody else, but there's always a conveyor belt of conversations that goes on in these shops. Your stylist can get more out of you in 15 minutes than a therapist in 15 years. And so it's just a really confidential, sometimes conversations that go on. I call it the immunity in the community, where that conversation doesn't go anywhere, but it stays right there in the chair. So, African Americans have an insatiable appetite for entertainment. And, they watch 40% more TV. They go to the movies twice as much. So I began to understand, because of my recommendations for movies, clients would ask me what movie to go see. They would ask me, what song was that playing? So I had an epiphany and I said, wait a minute, I'm helping the entertainment industries promote their products through the salon. And they need to know that this is a captive, receptive audience that they can really market, get a real front row seat with that target audience. So what I did is I sent a proposal to every movie studio I can think of and every record label. I didn't have any relationships there at all, but I told myself, if I have nothing, I have nothing to lose. So in about 30 days, Steve, I started getting packages of free CDs and advanced screening passes to give away after I sent those proposals out.
That is awesome. So what was the first big movie that you worked on?
It was a movie called Two Can Play That Game, starring Vivica Fox. I think it was a Sony Pictures movie. I worked on the movie Barbershop, The Best Man. But I think Two Can Play That Game was my first big opportunity that really got me into the industry, and that kind of like laid the groundwork for the next phases to come, and to build out this network of Black hair salons and barbershops across the country.
How big is your network now?
Well, we have a network of over 100,000 Black beauty shops and barbershops and nail salons across the country.
Whoa. That'll sell a few movie tickets.
Yeah, it definitely will.
So what are some of the common products that you've given away, and what has been the coolest products that's been given away?
Some of the coolest products that we've given away are like commonly like t-shirts, nail files, grooming kits. We even have shampoo capes that they put around the clients before they get their hair done. So you get the exposure of the brand message from the movie or TV show right there while you're waiting to get your hair done. But one of the coolest things that we've ever done was we've actually held advanced screenings for television shows in the shops.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. So let's say I'm Jay-Z or Sean, and I have a new artist, and I come to you and say, well, I'd like this played every 15 minutes in the salon. Or could you manage to do hair extensions with Beyonce bleach her name in? What would you tell me?
I would tell them that let's sit down and talk about how we can really customize this promotion for you so it could be really presented in a culturally relevant way. Because one thing you have to realize is that in these shops, they're the cultivators of culture, and these shops are like the incubators of culture. They have an outsized influence on the culture, and they're always redefining cultural norms. They don't just shape hair, they shape the culture one hairstyle at a time. So first I would talk to them about that, and then I would come up with a really customized campaign that I think that would resonate with that audience that they want.
Well, actually, you're doing it for one of the ladies that everybody respects, the Aretha Franklin movie, and you're doing it with her niece, right?
Yeah, her niece Cristal designed some of the swag, the t-shirts, the masks, and some of the other things that we've been distributing to the shops. So we collaborated on that. And then my team went into the shops and we distributed the swag to everybody. And I mean, it was undeniable because when my teams walk in with the swag, they almost get tackled for the product. I mean, everybody respects her. I mean, she's an undeniable style icon in the Black community, and so just her, she's not only gets respect, but she, in her movie, they gain respect of the audience by running these types of campaigns in the community.
Yeah, I saw the nail files, and those look pretty cool. As you're doing your fingernails, going, give me some respect.
Yeah, put some respect on this hairstyle in the shop. It's so cool because she's a timeless icon, a Black female, and that she really empowered, women with her songs and with her style.
Do you think that, say, a new music artist could gain knowledge by going in and talking to people that own hair salons as far as where their trends in music would be?
Oh, for sure. They can gauge the temperature. They can gauge the climate of, what the certain audiences like, the demographics that are there. They can certainly, gauge a lot and measure a lot from what they like there, because there's such a trusted environment that you're in these shops, and there's so much feedback that they give you, whether it's a movie or a song. It's like the original Black Twitter. I mean, everything that goes on social media really is going on in the shops before it hits social media. It's really like that sacred space that's always been there in the Black community. It's like the ecosystem that makes the Black community flourish.
Exactly. And what's interesting is actually in the way that you're speaking, it's not like a tribe, it's a community with unity, which is very, very unique, and a safe place that people can go to. Well, I really appreciate you being on today. This is some great insight on what you're doing. And where can people reach you if they're interested in setting up a promotion or, for something for music wise?
They can reach me at wilpowermarketing.com with one L. There, they can reach me directly on Instagram at the letter M, Wil Power with one L. They can reach me on both of those, either by email, my website, and I'm pretty accessible.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you for coming on the School of Hollywood today.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.